Hey, 3416. So begins Module 3, aka Week 3, aka Midterm. So this is an interesting week. I think they're all interesting. Like, I think everything we do is absolutely fascinating. And I hope you do too, at least a little bit. But this week in particular, we're going to look at one of the coolest and most important pieces of media scholarship in the last ever. And that's Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Massage. And yes, it is spelled that way and pronounced that way. It's not a typo. We will cover that. The medium is the massage. And what I want you to do with that particular text is I want you to read the book, right? The book itself, as I say in some notes, it's really more like a long photo essay than a book. So even though it's got 100 plus pages, and boy, from the side, it sure looks like a book. Like half of them are just pictures. So the whole book is experienced as much as it is read. And I want you to go through it. I want you to read it. I want you to enjoy it. Spend some time with it. Because as far as I'm concerned, the stuff that we've read before, we read Benjamin. Later, we're going to read Lyotard. They're both super important and fundamental to media scholarship, but neither of them is even remotely as fun as Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Massage. You're going to read the book. I want you to watch the short movie. It's part documentary and part also the book. So I think that's pretty interesting. And then if you get a chance, and I am asking you to do this, listen to the recording. So I sent you a YouTube link that has a video of the audio recording, and you should definitely give that a listen. So experience the work in 3 ways, because this is a media class. So I want you to try to get a feel, develop an understanding for the way these different mediums affect your messages, or if you will, your massages. Elephant in the room, midterm is going to be due at the end of this week. So that is an annotated bibliography posted online. And I remind you again that FIU gives you gives you free hosting for a WordPress site. I would recommend taking some time to learn WordPress anyway. And this is my personal website is a WordPress website. I have done a lot of different things. I've done this on Weebly. I've done this on Wix. My old copywriting company had a Squarespace profile set up. What was the other? Oh, I've done it by hand. I actually hand coded web pages and had a friend's server host them. I'm very much a fan of WordPress, and I would encourage you to learn it and to use it. A lot of businesses use this as their go-to platform, and it just has a lot of great all-in-one features. So if you get a chance, or if you're interested, and I hope that you are, use WordPress and go to, I think it's myweb.fiu.edu. Like, you're already set up. You just have to start putting stuff online. Spend some time learning WordPress, the ins and outs of it. Make a page, make a blog, and go from there. Beyond that, you should be looking at somewhere between 6 and 8 sources on new media and whatever. And the way you can read that is that you can look for articles on new media and your topic together. You can see if anybody's already doing that sort of scholarship. Or you can look at the topic of new media and also whatever your topic is. So let's say you wanted to do new media and video games. Okay, that's a really obvious one. Video games are also new media, but I'm just going to throw that one out there for grins. You could look at new media scholarship, and you could also look at academic video game scholarship. And when I say academic, when I'm talking about peer-reviewed, credentialed, serious research, I don't want just any old article that you can find on Google, okay? I want you hitting the library. I want you looking for stuff coming out of university presses. I want you looking at the stuff that's a little more challenging, a little deeper. This is a more advanced English class, so it's time that we do slightly harder research maybe than we had to for 1101 and 1102. It's really time to start digging in and learning the topic. All right, so let me talk about what else we're doing this week. We're reading Marshall McLuhan, and we're taking that text 3 ways. We are working on the midterm. Your midterm requires peer review. The upshot of peer review is that you trade work with somebody and you exchange constructive criticism. You only need 2 peer reviewers. Let me suggest you solicit the help of 4 or 5 peer reviewers, because somebody is going to disappoint you. And probably through no fault of their own, somebody will not get you feedback in time. And if you've only got 2 people and one of those people doesn't respond, that means you come up short on the peer review requirement. So definitely get more people than you need. Plus, that's going to make the work a little bit better. It's the difference between having 2 collaborators versus a whole workshop to help you along. And I think the benefit of having more people to walk you through that text is pretty self-explanatory and hopefully more or less self-evident. We're also going to look at film this week. I don't think your film reading is particularly long. I took my old class and I cut the list in half. So the big things I want you to learn about, mostly this concept of what makes film film. And what that really boils down to is this concept of montage. This comes to us really from Sergei Eisenstein. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name of the guy who actually thought it up, but Eisenstein is the guy who popularizes it. And he's the one who says the whole point of film is that if you take one image and put it next to another image, then the reader makes this connection between those images. And that's what film is showing one thing, this juxtaposition of imagery, which works not only to create the illusion of movement, because in film you're showing one picture very quickly so that the illusion of movement is created, but also conceptually. So if the classic example I think is the experiment was something like show somebody smiling and then show an ice cream cone on the ground and then show them frowning. And you put this story together in your head that says, oh, they were happy they had ice cream, then they dropped it, now they're sad. But then you can also reverse the story and have somebody frowning and the ice cream on the ground and they're smiling, and you have the story of somebody borderline psychopathic who's very happy that a child dropped their ice cream cone because now you can laugh at the child or something like that. I don't remember all the details. Maybe some of it's lost on me or lost in translation. But that's the essence of montage theory, and that's the essence of film. The alternative to that is called Bazanian realism. And in realism, you're treating the camera as neutral, objective, and you're just capturing what's in front of it. Eisenstein's argument, and the one that's generally accepted, is that there's nothing special about this. You're betraying what is best of the medium. But the way we experience video entertainment in the 21st century complicates that a little bit. Reality television, live internet footage, and all the rest kind of throw a wrench into the works of what seemed to be a previously settled question. So definitely read up on that a little bit. My notes cover this. They go into this across 3 sections. You've got one on modernity generally, you've got one on McLuhan and the postmodern, and you've got one on film realism and montage. You've got a reading list. I also have supplemental information in the form of 2 sets of not quizzed discussion notes. Of course, I'm going to encourage you to take a look at those. I wrote them. I didn't write them for my own benefit. So hopefully you'll enjoy them. I think you'll find the companion project, the discussion, to be very easy. In addition, you've got a couple of quizzes, one on discussion notes, one on reading, and then one on McLuhan. The McLuhan one is slightly more difficult, if only because you kind of have to look for things in a text that is not clearly demarked. So that's one where I'm really going to suggest read the book and then, with the book in hand, take the quiz. So this isn't one where you're going to have a really good time if you're taking the quiz and then hunting and pecking for the important parts. This is one where you really should know the book and then come back and take the quiz. Beyond that, you've got your annotated bibliography as your midterm project. If you have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. My email is vmalish@fiu.edu. That's vmalesh@fiu.edu. One last thing, and this goes for minor project 1. Please go back to module 1 and read the web-styled writing supplement. I want you to keep working on producing prose that is ready for the web, and that's prose that includes web-friendly elements like headers, links, images. When we submit, it should be single-spaced. The paragraph should be chunked. It should be in a more conversational we-you tone without falling into an overly self-indulgent I. There's a lot of different guidelines. I sent you a link to the one at usability.gov, and I also paraphrase those in my own web-styled writing supplement. So please go back and have a look at that. Otherwise, again, hit me with your questions, vmalish@fiu.edu. Good luck this week, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your midterm projects.